Testing. Oh, yes. There we go. All right. Welcome, everyone. This is Victor here from VClub, and we are live with our Spring Series 590 main event final table. This is the culmination of almost 10 days of play. These 9 players reached here after a grueling starting day, either last Sunday or yesterday, from 134 entries down to the final 9. And just to give you guys an idea of what's at stake here, it's 16K first place prize for today. All of these players have locked up at least $2,200 here. Of course, there's leaderboard points up for grabs, the player of the series, and being immortalized in the V Club history and being on our wall of fame for the winner here today. So we're just gonna play a quick video for you guys before we get back to the action and introduce you to your other 2 commentators for tonight's action. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. All right, we're back. Man, those videos give me chills. And we've got a huge hand playing out actually in front of us. But shout out to our creative director, Kate, who's on the floor tonight, who put those videos together. So we've got Pei, who had Ace King. Sorry, we lost the feed. We're going to bring it back here in a second. But while we're waiting, I'm going to introduce the 2 commentators that we have in the booth tonight. We've got Jason Chan. There we go. We're back.
There we are.
We got Jason Chan here. You know him, you love him. He's been leading our stream from a co-commentating standpoint for the last few streams. But yeah, Jason.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Toronto, Canada.
Awesome. And then our second co-commentator for tonight is Jeremy Poon.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us on this Sunday. Hope you're watching from the back of a church or something, maybe. And thanks for tuning in.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna leave it to these guys to call the action for tonight. There'll be I might pop in here at the booth a little bit throughout the night, but yeah, hope you guys let us know who you're cheering for in the chat as well. We'll watch out for the comments. We'll let them know who you're cheering for. Show them some love. But enjoy this epic final table here tonight in downtown Toronto.
Alrighty, thank you, Victor. And we already see an all-in right here, Jack 10.
Yeah, it looks like we're jumping right into the action.
There is no break at all. And remember, Talfrin is our big chip leader right now. So this is, and I believe Key is our short stack.
Looks like there's an all-in and a call. Well, it looks like a double up for our short stack.
Double up for
Key flops us straight with a heart redraw.
So just a reminder, everyone, they are playing for first prize top place gets 16,000 Canadian dollars. So that is, I believe, our largest prize pool yet. And yeah, I can't wait to spend this beautiful Sunday afternoon with y'all watching some pretty good poker. All right, and now that we have just a little bit of a break in the action, let's introduce our players. We have Adam in the first seat, Pei in seat 2, we have Dylan in seat 3, we have Billy in seat 4. He was the winner of our mega stack the other day. High roller, yes, for 15,000. So he's back again. We have Key in seat 5. Uh, we have Talfrin, who is our big chip leader at the moment, seat 6. Robert in seat 7. And Dilip in seat 8. And last but not least, Christopher in seat 9. Looks like Dylan here raising off the hijack with ace 10 off. Let's see if he gets a customer here.
Interesting that Talfrin as the chip leader just calls from the small blind with king 9 suited. I definitely think in this very skewed ICM distribution, you could probably justify getting out of line with this hand, putting a bit of pressure on Dylan, who seems to be the 4th biggest stack.
And of course, shout out to our action trackers downstairs, Tony and John, for helping us out. Along with me and Jeremy, that's your live streaming team for tonight. So thank you for being here with us. This is, like Victor said, this is the exciting finale to the entire spring series. So I can't wait to see who will take home the top prize tonight. And just as importantly, the player points for the leaderboard. In first place, of course, in the leaderboard will get a $2,500 credit towards the WSOP Super Circuit main event in September. Second place gets a $590 VClub monthly finale ticket, plus hoodies, hats, and cards. And our third place winner will, for the season leaderboard, will get a $260 Saturday no limit hold'em ticket. So good luck to everybody. It's a very tight race right now.
Looks like we have a hand developing here. Chip leader with queens on the button. Robert with the ace-4 in the small, but wisely lets it go. So king 7 suited in the cutoff. I like this raise from our chip leader. Interesting to see what Robert will do here.
He 3-bets it.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So I think Robert understands that he can't just sit back and not take these spots against the chip leader. It's a good find. I'm interested to see what the chip leader would do. Just calls.
Calls here. Yeah, Robert is one of our middle stacks, so sometimes you just have to take an aggressive route. Flop 9, 8, 10. 2 diamonds. Robert with a pair. So the question here is, if you're the chip leader, are you trying to put pressure on the milling stacks?
Yeah, the graphics are taking a moment to update, but it looks like Robert has bet in position. I'm curious what bet size he has come with. Might be an all-in based on the tang. I was going to say, if there is a bet on this board, I think you should only take an all-in sizing. Even your overpairs, which would have 3-bet pre, are probably just content to play all-in on this spot with about a 1-to-1 SPR. Oh no, it looks like he bets small. The problem with betting sort of small on this board is that the chip leader sort of just gets to run you over.
And just like that.
Yeah. To begin with, ace-9 suited probably isn't even in Robert's range all the time. Yeah, so for him to flop second pair with a backdoor on this board, I really would have liked to see him check back. As it stands now, it looks like he's probably going to get blown off his equity because this board hits the chip leader's calling range pretty bad. Yeah, and it looks like he folds. And he's lost 225,000. It's the best hand. So
that's
possibly
rough.
A misstep there.
And just like that, our chip leader chipping up.
Oh.
Hello. Hello. Aces.
Interesting spot here. Ace is under the gun off just north of 10 blinds, 11 blinds. I think he's definitely going to play a small open and not rip it here. Yeah.
Let's see if he gets a customer. Now is he gonna get a customer in Billy?
No, it looks like Billy's just making a decision here, but he lets it go.
Lets it go. I think that's
King Jack offsuit doesn't perform well in this configuration.
Yeah. Kind of looks like Kind of looks like he's not gonna get a customer here now. Does Dilip defend?
No, he's in the button.
Oh, in the bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, guess no one wants to play it, and that is, I would say, my experience in tournaments is picking up premiums after holding on for orbits on all orbits, and then not getting a customer. So I feel your pain. Adam though.
Yeah, so Adam has about 8 bigs here. I think he's going to flick one in and try to flop some equity. Wow.
Oh my goodness. When you say flop some equity, I think that is some equity right there. Queen 9-9. Flops a boat.
And you'll see Pei either bet one big blind or even check back on this board. Aces is just generally really far ahead on this type of board. Obviously, in this case, he's not, but there's no concern for getting the money in with about 1-1 SPR.
Looks like they're just gonna be playing for it. And there's the table reaction as everyone sees the flop boat against.
So we're just waiting for the action to update, but it looks like the money is in. Possibly Pei may have just ripped the flop. Yeah, it looks like Pei just put him all in on the flop and got snap called.
What a hand.
Yeah,
I mean,
bad beat for the aces.
bad beat for the aces, but as a short stack, that is 240,000 much needed chips. And of course, we have our famous graphics here. Of course, this is based on the data of all the hands played so far. So as we go along, these will update with more information. But we'll just, I think they've played probably 14 hands. So we just have a little bit of technical difficulties here. We, of course, are looking at this Adam versus Adam graphic. But yes, we can revisit the past hand. So,
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
There
we
we
were just
go.
waiting for that graphic to come off the screen. Well, it looks like he has pocket nines here.
It was just a call.
Yeah. Just waiting for the graphics to update.
Yes, the graphics is updated. So key in the UTG2 with nines. Now Talfin, who is our big chip leader and has chipped up since. Looks like we have.
Yeah, the big blind was short. He only had about 75,000, so Key might have limped, hoping that there were a few limps behind, and then the big blind can shove and he can reshove, unless our graphics. But it looks like Pei is out, so GG's.
GG's to pay.
That's our ninth place finisher for
2,200. Which is still a great payday. So yes, GG's to our ninth place finisher pay. Going home with $2,200.
chip leader with pocket nines. He's seeing an open here. Robert in the low jack with ace 10 off. Wouldn't be surprised to see him fold this one. He's already tried to take on the chip leader once, and he's significantly shorter now with a worse position facing a earlier open. But he's milling it over, counting his stack.
I think this is it's a close spot here. Does he want to risk his tournament life?
I'm not sure of the exact chip distribution, but I would be pretty okay with just folding this one here, facing a +1 open. I think it's just too early, especially the chip leader where you know you're probably going to have less fold equity.
Live to fight another day.
And he does muck it.
He does muck it. Yeah, we just live to play another day. And that's the power of being the chip leader. Just get to play every hand. People challenging them to stand up to you. So looks like we have no customers here.
Ace-9 suited under the gun, off of about 13 bigs. He finds the fold. I like finding this, finds the raise, sorry. I like finding this raise here, even with the chip leader on your left.
How pot committed is he? I mean, in this hand,
He's probably not pot committed at all, but I do like that he found this raise just because he's raising from under the gun and a hand as strong as ace 9 suited. You really can't fold that in GTO. If you do face resistance, generally speaking, the resistance will be geared towards somewhat higher strength just because of the position and from what stack you're opening.
So we have a call from
Yeah,
Billy. in the
Billy
beta.
defends the
Good
king
defend.
queen off. Very standard.
We have Queen, Jack 10, two clubs. Billy flops a queen. Neither player with a club. King of diamonds on the turn. Billy with two pair.
Key turns a 6
I
card
know,
straight.
6 cards straight. I was just gonna say that two pair is unfortunate. If you're Billy here, how worried are you seeing that king?
It depends on the sizing that Key comes out with, but I expect him to continue if Key uses a somewhat smaller sizing here. Yeah, and Key does. Key bets just under 2 bigs. I like the flop check back by Key as well, because although he does have nut advantage on that flop, Billy's going to have a lot of hands that have considerable equity, especially when he bets and faces a call. Hands like a pair with a straight draw, pair with a flush draw. So Key, with no additional backdoor equity, just checks back, realizes the equity of his open-ended, and gets there on the turn. And Billy in a bit of a tank because he probably expects Key to be shoving rivers at a pretty high frequency, no matter what card comes.
Looks like he's going with it. Call.
Oh, no. Oh, he called, yes.
Called. The river. Now that's interesting. With a third diamond. Of course, neither player with the diamond here, but what is Billy thinking?
Well, Billy's hand basically becomes a bluff catcher now. Hoping Key might have some. Actually, I can't really think of too many bluffs that Key has in this spot. That
Queen X.
yeah. Oh, did Key check back? Because there's a showdown. Well, I don't really like that check back by Key. In spite of the flush coming in, I still think a straight is good enough to value bet and get called by hands like this at some frequency.
Yeah, especially with such a short stack, he had less than one SPR. Still well played. That's tough. It's tough to flop top two.
No, he
To
turned
turn top two, only to run into a straight. But I guess maybe that third diamond saved him there. Do you think if he jams, do you think Billy would call that?
Probably not, just because it's hard to come up with bluffs that still exist in that spot. Even some of the hands that you possibly were bluffing with made a straight.
Of course, shout out to all 18 of y'all watching with us. Got some Billy fans here. Go Billy. And of course, the Feds. Dylan. So, yeah, join us in the chat and we'll respond to you.
Dylan with a good spot here. folded to him, ace jack off, and he is the effective chip leader. Now that our chip leader has folded. Dylan having a debate between min raise and all in shove on the button, and it looks like he's gone with the all in. The graphics are wrong. He has more than 15,000.
Yeah.
Rahul. Rahul. How much did Dylan stack? The status offer.
It was 550 before.
550. Yeah.
It wasn't here. We went somewhere before.
And of course, if you're just joining us for the first time, this is the final day of the main event for the VClub Spring Series. 8 players left in the final table. And we cannot be more excited to capture this run. This was a 2-day event previously. So we had over 100 entrants coming in. Now we're down to last 8.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously that. No, I was wondering about the prize.
Waiting for the good news.
Looks like a blind-on-blind interaction here. Chip leader limps in with the 10-6. We're gonna see an all-in from Robert. Slam dunk all-in. Yeah, and chip leader probably doesn't need to take this spot. Keeping Robert in as the shortest stack has future game implications for him that are beneficial.
And I jam on.
I don't have much. On the short stack.
Yeah, I don't see any. They're usually right here, Jack. I don't see any.
Oh,
Ooh.
chip leader with ace king on the button.
On the button.
So I'm very interested to. Yeah, I do like that fold from Robert. If he had about 14 bigs, maybe I would consider taking that spot just because it's chip leader open. And for Dilip's sake, it's fortunate that he had nothing in big blind. Dilip is actually second in chips, contrary to what the graphics say.
Nice hand. It's close.
I was spraying like
Close, I know. Close. Suited I can. If I had all suited humble. Queen jack.
Yeah, probably not.
Queen jack suited is a jam hand. Not awesome. 30. I had three. Yeah, actually, it wasn't even suited. Against the ace king. Yeah.
Double suited, top position.
Double suited. Yeah, exactly. Backdoor.
It makes an ace. It makes
60. Yeah.
Looks like we have Robert here on the button. Sevens.
Yeah, Talfin abusing his chip position. He just gets to open a lot of these suited kings, suited queens. Robert's going to be all in.
He's got to play for all of
Yeah,
them.
very good spot. With about 10 bigs. He's just milling it over.
Looks like he's.
Is that a plant on his rail?
Yes. I was wondering that also.
What do you think of
earlier.
that?
I should. I mean, he's probably getting better oxygen than anybody else.
Yeah. He's circulating.
He's got that photosynthesis.
Carbon cycle. Photosynthesizing.
Yeah. It looks like everyone's just.
Yeah, Talfin's just gonna fold. He's gonna verify how much it is, but you can't call it.
It's 305.
Just thinking about it though.
I mean, Robert's found a lot of spots against the chip leader. The chip leader's probably thinking to himself, does this guy just like totally disregard ICM, or is he just getting certain hands against him?
But at this stage, I feel like Robert's not incentivized to get out of line.
Yeah, but sevens are still a clear shot in this position against the chip leader. I think the chip leader's just putting him through the ringer a bit to disincentivize future activity.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like that. You're setting up. Is there any?
But when Talfrin tanks for this long, you almost don't even mind a call because you figure he probably just has like one overcard.
So is there any world here where Tuffin thinks I have king high suited? Maybe go a little crazy here, but potentially get a knockout.
I haven't really seen how Talfrin has played this whole time, but he clearly was doing something right to get all these chips. But as I mentioned last stream, I don't think that chip leader is really incentivized to pick off the short stack in these spots with marginal holdings. Just because you get to leverage this spot so well against second place and third and fourth place, who just have to respect you way more than a short stack does. But he's probably thinking to himself, it's a little bit unusual that Robert has been able to take and find so many spots against him in such a short period of time.
And I think I just heard a clock being called.
Well, his hand is turned over, so it looks like he called. Okay, so Talfrin probably just wants to expedite things, get out of here in time for dinner.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It looks like
The rest of the table is pretty pleased with this outcome, to be honest.
9-4 deuce, 2 spades. No with the spade, and looks like Robert holds.
Yeah, he looks a little dejected for someone who just doubled up.
You know, someone who.
But it's a little bit hard to read his expressions with the mask on. So again, all these graphics are correct, except for Dilip. Dilip has about 900,000. We have a clear runaway chip leader in Talfrin. Second place has less than half of what he has.
Yeah.
And then we see a grouping near the bottom.
You have a smattering of.
Yeah. So despite
3, 4,
that,
500,000.
despite that slight misstep, Talfrin is still our runaway chip leader and favorite.
It must be nice to come in to the final table with just all the chips.
Oh yeah, the final table bubble was over an hour and a half long, and during that time, chip leader just gets to accumulate on a short-handed table.
We saw multiple all-ins that resulted in no bust, and yeah, it was an hour and a half.
Yeah. Talfrin's probably going to raise this up again. He gets to keep doing the role of table captain. Oh, Robert freshly doubled. He's 4 suited. Looks like he passed. Philip with the king 9 offsuit on the button. Going to pass as well. Yeah, 10-5 suited, yeah. Suited 10 in this spot with about 15 or 16 blinds. Yeah. Worthwhile to flick one in.
Queen Jack Ace.
Yeah.
Hearts.
It's quite important to defend your big blind even in these spots. We're generally looking for hands with additional equity, so suited hands fall into that category.
Unfortunately for Adam, though, he has missed everything.
Or maybe fortunately.
Maybe fortunately, yeah. You know, I'm really loving this plant at the table. We gotta ask him about it later.
Oh, that's strange. It looks like Adam led out on the turn and Taufin just folded. I'm not sure if that was just a graphical error on our end. That would be
That would be an
very
unusual-
strange
yeah,
to check
unusual.
back ace deuce and just release to one bet. Well, here's our V pips. Our chip leader up at the top, consistent with what chip leader should be doing, but Robert has actually been V pipping a lot, probably due to his position on the direct left of the chip leader. He's been able to take a few more spots.
He's picked up some hands.
Yeah. And we have at the bottom Billy, Chris, and Dillip. Dillip hasn't been able to play a hand yet. Taufin with another raise and take it down with ace 10.
Must be nice taking down the blinds.
Oh, you scared the shit out of me. Oh, you scared the shit out of me. I thought you were doing that. No, he was fine. I think it's a fine.
Ace 5 offsuit from the hijack. I think Dillip's going to find the open here, especially with Taufin having folded. And just to correct for our viewers, his stack is about 850k, not 115k.
Takes it down.
Yep. Billy was considering it, but ends up folding.
Billy, of course, was the winner of our mega stack just a couple of days ago, taking home $15,400.
Yes, and he's on another big FT. So shout outs to Billy, VCamp attendee.
VCamp
Something like that.
attendee, yes.
Yeah.
So,
So if you're looking to up your game and make
some
almost
FTs.
back-to-back FTs, talk to Victor and check out VCamp. Taufin with the king jack. I think he's definitely going to be raising here. Oh no, he folds. Strange. Perhaps a little gun shy because Robert on his left has been seemingly attacking him. But I think you need to just keep your foot on the gas, and king jack off is a very easy open.
And you have such a big chip lead anyways.
Yes, exactly.
looks like we have some Dylan fans out in the chat, so shout out to y'all. Dylan, of course, is a long time VClub reg and very successful at that.
Walk for key. King 8 suited under the gun for Robert. Probably looking at it like it's a pretty hand, but ill-advised to open into the chip leader's big blind with hand this weak.
At this stage of the tournament, you're really not incentivized to go crazy here. I think King 8 was a very disciplined fold.
Yeah.
Dylan, cutoff,
Yeah.
suited ace.
Definitely needs to raise this one up, and he does. This is one of the few configurations where Dylan has position on the chip leader, and as Dylan is now second in chips, although he doesn't want to get into a card crash with Talfrin, he definitely knows that he needs to win chips off chip leader in order to win this tournament. It looks like Talfrin with wide defend, 9-4 offsuit. So we'll see a flop.
Saying not today.
Yeah.
10 Queen 8.
And there's a path to victory here for Talfrin with the 9-4. Dylan, very smart player, very studied in ICM. I think he should find a check back on this board, given that the Queen 10-8 hits the calling range of the big blind quite strongly. And he does check back. Talfrin quickly checking it over. I would have liked to have seen a lead from Talfrin on this turn. Yeah, the 7 rates to hit him very strongly, and despite Dylan's check back, he does remain somewhat capped on this run out. I probably would have liked to see a lead for somewhere in the vicinity of 75% to even 125% pot. You just know Dylan probably doesn't have too many combos of straights in this spot. He doesn't have the 6-9. He only has Jack-9 suited at some frequency. And hands that are as strong as 2-pair plus that he opens, Queen 10 suited, maybe 10-8 suited, are gonna probably bet the flop. And now he's forced into a spot where he has a gut shot on this turn. Oh, sorry, he turned open-ended. I think we're gonna see him proceed in the form of a call.
He calls.
Oh, and he rivers a 9. But Dylan has bottom straight. It will be interesting to see what Talfrin does if he thinks his 9 is good enough to have showdown value. Facing a check, I expect Dylan to go for value on this river.
How big do you think he goes here?
Probably small, targeting hands like 2-pair. Or well, there's two ways you can look at it. You can either go small and try to target hands like 2-pair, or even, primarily 2-pair. Or you can go big and fold to a raise if you expect villain to be unable to check raise against a bigger sizing. But Talfrin comes with a lead, and yeah. Oh, but Yeah, it was about half.
Half pot here.
I think Dylan's a little too high up to be folding this, although he doesn't love it because Jack X stands to be in the range of Taufren at a pretty high frequency.
I think this is gonna be a pretty standard call.
Yeah, I think he's just going to think this through this spot and find the call. It's not inconceivable that Taufren could just be betting out this size with two pair combos. I think a jack probably goes bigger. And he does call, shows the 9, and Dylan is going to show the 6. Nice hand by Dylan.
Nice hand indeed. Picks home 390,000. I think that's a great little scoop.
Lines are up, guys. 20, 40.
So a nice hand there by Dylan, a function of understanding how his range plays on that flop and wisely checking back. I would have been interested to have seen if another player had made a bet on that flop, whether or not Taufren would have found the check raise.
Raise 80.
Oh, Dylan with another good hand. So open, ace queen suited. Chip leader out of the way.
I guess more chips to play with now.
So just letting the graphics catch up there. Dylan does open the ace queen suited. It looked like Robert had a decision in the small blind, but after a bit of thinking, lets it go. And here you have the updated stacks. I do believe these stacks are accurate.
Yes,
Jason.
yes, they are.
So you can see that there's a very top-heavy distribution with our chip leader having 2x of what second place has, and scattering of small stacks to round out. I think 5 stacks under
5
600,000,
stacks,
which
yeah.
is 20 bigs. So small stacks just waiting for each other to bust for ladders, and then you see an interesting ICM dynamic where third place Dillip has to respect the second and first place, and second place especially has to respect Taufren because Taufren has 2x of him. Folds to Robert in the small with Jack 8 offsuit. I think. Oh, and he just
That's a go.
folds. Interesting.
Take it down, Dilla. Yeah, right.
Looks like we have some Dillip fans in the audience right now. Shout out to them.
Last time you said that, you don't.
Oh, what'd you say?
Last, he says he feels it. He said he's feeling it. Last time he said that was.
So, check out some of the new camera angles. We've installed some new cameras.
Trying to
and,
bring you all the
yeah,
best stream.
give you a bit of variety, and even despite some of the dead air today, at least you guys can hear the clacking of the chips and the table banter. So that's what we do here at VClub.
And of course, we have a lot more upgrades to our setup coming shortly. So make sure you follow VClub on YouTube, subscribe to us, so you don't miss any more future streams.
And all this really wouldn't be possible without your support. So thank you for tuning in and supporting the stream as we continue to grow and improve.
And of course, you know, comment which which player you guys are backing today. It looks like there are a lot of Dylan fans out there. Of course, as commentators, I personally have no bias, but do you have someone that's, what do you think, Jeremy?
Oh yeah, I'm personally good friends with two of the players on this table, so I definitely going to be rooting for them, and that's Dylan and Dylan, who are in good position to possibly go deep and take this down, second and third in chips. Shoutouts to Key as well. I think he's played I watched a bit of him while there were 2 tables left, and he's played well to get here.
Shout out to Keen indeed.
tips after the break, so it's not my fault.
So many entries.
It's got like 17 now or something.
The guarantee's low today. It's at 7,500 guarantee. I think it's their first time doing it. Is it, Raul, their first time? First time. First time.
Looks like Dilip here in the cutoff, picking up Queen 10 of clubs.
Yep. He's definitely going to open this one.
It's fun. It's fun. It's team, you know.
It looks like it's going to be a situation where second in chips is facing, or third in chips is facing second in chips. Button folds, small blind folds, and looks like Dylan has called because we're off to a flop.
Line 7 off.
Yeah, standard defend here at this stack depth. 30 plus bigs.
6-3-3
Yeah, very favorable flop for
for Dilip here. The club draw, two
Yeah.
overcards.
I'm going to see Dilip bet this one at a high frequency with the queen high flush draw. He might elect to check some hands like the ace high flush draw. And Dylan's hand class with no real backdoor interaction or front door removal, he's probably just going to bin it. I think this one would be too loose of a check raise, even if he perceives 6-3-3 to favor him more than Dilip. You might see Dylan attempt to do something if he had 9 of clubs, 7 of spades, perhaps, but even then I think it would be too much. And he does let it go.
Yeah, I was gonna say these are two relatively big stacks going at each other.
Yeah, so risk premium is high, and in these situations when risk premium is high, you have to be very careful with the combos that you choose to check raise bluff. Otherwise, you're just vastly over bluffing, and that's going to lead to complications on future streets.
So while we have a bit of time here, I'm gonna go over our leaderboard, our Spring Series leaderboard. First, second, third place, we have Johnny in first place, Italian Josie in second, and Ange in third. Notably, Billy is in 13th place on the overall
Yeah, I
leaderboard.
believe this is the series leaderboard. There's also, this is the spring
The
leaderboard.
spring.
There's always also a series leaderboard where we might see some of our more familiar faces. I think Dylan's doing pretty well on that leaderboard, as is Billy. Here from the hijack. He's opening into two of the stacks that are really constrained, that have somewhere around in the 500,000 region. Billy with a decision. I would like to see him V-pip this one and defend. As I mentioned earlier, when you get to this stack depth, you do want to be taking the price and seeing a flop. And hands that have connectivity and suitability are better suited to that purpose.
He's really thinking about it here.
Yeah. And you can actually see the Queen 8 suited is actually an equity favorite against the pocket fours. So hard for Billy to know, as he does have no fold equity if he jams, but were he to take these spots with the suited connectors, he's actually ahead of the small pocket pairs that don't cover a suit. Wow, he just folds.
Just lets it go.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that fold. I think you need to, at minimum, put one more blind in. Yeah, Queen 8 suited is just too good. It just has too much equity and flops too well, generally speaking.
Yeah, as you can see, he was a favorite against the fours. So.
Yeah, and even against range, he stands to have somewhere in the 35 to 40% equity against the range that Dilip is going to be opening there. Unless he just thinks that, based on Dilip's low PFR, that Dilip is opening significantly tighter, but he doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that. I'd be surprised if he knows that.
He's just going off of what he's seen, I think. I mean, for the most part, we haven't seen too many raises from seed 8. So Dylan with the mystery hand open on the button, opening into Key, who is a shorter stack, but probably still ahead of 1 or 2 stacks. Interesting to note that the chip leader Taufrin folded, again, 10-9 offsuit under the gun. Earlier he folded King-Jack offsuit. And I think with his dominating chip lead, you can generally get away with a lot more, especially opening from first position. A hallmark of that is when we see a chip leader not take these spots, we generally either see the second or third stack step in to take that role, but in general, the process of play on the table is going to take a lot longer, just because without a chip leader pressuring the other stacks, generally speaking, what you're going to see is what we see now, which is a lot of the short stacks willing to get short and just waiting for each other. We're starting to see the table get a lot more drawn out in that regard. Yeah, and Dylan with the Jack of Diamonds X. Key defends the 9-7 offsuit. I don't mind this defend from Key. But quickly folds. Yeah. Yeah, so shoutouts to one of our commenters, Brody Reed 5619, who writes, "Isn't 633 a good flop for his big blind defend range though?" Yes, you could say that. It depends how much 3x Dylan is actually defending in this node. As chip leader 2 versus chip leader 3, you're probably not going to see a lot of offsuit 3x. And I think on that flop, where Dilip had queen 10 of clubs, it's probably just a clear c-bet, being able to drive his equity. But you are right in pointing out that 633 does favor Dylan's range, which is probably why he contemplated pulling a move with the 9-7 offsuit, but his particular combo just doesn't interact well enough, and if he's choosing that combo, then what isn't he bluffing?
Looks like we have an all-in here.
Oh, we do have an all-in. Yeah, looks like Billy.
Flop an ace.
Looks like a button jam from Billy and a reshove from Key in the small blind.
And looks like it's GG's to Billy as Key flops an ace. Yeah, shout out to Billy. It was an exceptional run, especially after the marathon run we had the other day, just 3-4 days ago. But he takes us down
Yeah.
with the flop
And a
ace.
nice chip up for Key because he was one of the short stacks that was hanging in there. So to take out another short stack puts him now, I think, squarely in fourth place.
He's out of the danger zone.
Oh, powerhouse.
Under
Under
the
the gun
gun.
ace king offsuit.
Deal up with Big Slick.
Yep.
Let's see if he gets any customers. Now that we're 7-handed.
I had him with a pretty hand, but I don't think he's going to be doing anything. Queen 9 suited. It looks like it's on our big blind Robert now. Robert with the fold.
It's running low. It's running low. And it's getting low. Pretty good. Just waiting for our graphics to catch up, but it does look like Key has opened this pot and Dilip has defended the big blind. Oh yes, and Key with the button open with pocket nines.
So I believe we're experiencing just a bit of technical difficulties here. I think we have a break upcoming, so we will try restarting the stream so that the graphics can come through correctly. Because right now I can see that we are well behind the hands. So bear with us for now as we try to sort this out.
From space! Ace from space! Revive!
Wait for 7!
You had a hell of a run.
Hell of a run from 6, from 5 pigs. Set up.
I knew I should have pulled it. That was on screen. Snapple.
You still in diamond or was it okay? Pardon? You still in diamond or was it
Yeah, I would have preferred diamond.
I got out the
This
wrong.
one okay? You want a
Yeah.
little bit greedy?
That was above average.
Didn't expect the quiz to come. You want another flop now?
Yeah.
Cancel the 10?
Yeah, I thought
He did a really good run.
Yeah, another 5 plus 1.
Maybe 5 blinds. Maybe less. I think he did only 4 and a half.
He started with 74 or not? Yeah, so which is like 6 and change.
See, in the process of, I guess, like, now we went back just like 20 seconds ago.
Okay, well, do the best you can. We'll try to figure it out with some chat upstairs. Just no. I think Kirby, because he's more of an technical guy, just get it. Like
welcome back, guys. Of course, as soon as I come in, the camera goes down, but we are now back from break. There's already action happening, as you can see. But thank you for bearing with us as we try to figure out our audio technical issues here. And of course, as I do, shout out to Rahul, our dealer. He's a good dealer, but a great guy. So shout out to Rahul. We're 44 hands into this final table. My name is Jason, and I'll be with you for the rest of the time here. Thank you for tuning in with us. It looks like Talfrin here picking up Queen 9 on the button with a raise, and Dilip defends in the big King 7 diamonds. Pretty standard, and flops 2 diamonds here. Queen 5-3 2 diamonds. You would imagine Dilip with check here. Your flop aggressor here. Talfrin with 80,000. I think this is an easy continue here now. Is he considering perhaps raising here? These are 2 big stacks at the table, so must tread carefully. And yep, just like that, Dilip raises to 200,000. Talfrin with the quick call. And Jack of Diamonds on the turn gives Dilip the checkmark here. Now, Talfrin with top pair, he also has a diamond, so he might be thinking he has some equity in this pot, but as we can see on the graphics here, that he is drawing dead. Dilip with the king high flush draw. Flush just checks to Talfrin. I think that's a good find by him. Let's see if what's the sizing? It's Talfrin bets 330,000 chips. I think this is a very standard call from Dilip. Yes, we have this big pot developing here. Wow. God, there are 2 big stacks going head to head here. And Dilip coming with the raise right away.
780.
Just clicks it back. 780. Now what does Talfrin do here? He's got top pair, but there are 3 diamonds out there. He wisely lets it go. Great fold by Talfrin. DLP are winning 700,000 in this pot. And now, of course, our famous graphics here, notable players. Kind of looks like Talfrin is dominating this. Unstoppable. He is the most unstoppable and most hands lost, but that's what is expected when you are the chip leader for so long. But and Robert here is our luckiest player. Adam as our unluckiest player, and I think we just had us flip in our chip leader. Talfrin in the cutoff, opening ace 10 offsuit. And Adam defends with his 7-5 of clubs. Very standard defend there. Gotta defend your big blinds. The flop is queen ace 10, 2 hearts. Adam completely misses here. Talfrin essentially has this board locked up. And Adam with a quick fold. Talfrin takes it down. And Talfrin picking up ace queen of hearts here. Under the gun. Standard raise. And Robert. Ace queen also. In the cutoff.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna see a shove and a snap call from the chip leader, and something like 96% of the time or something they chop.
Yes. Expect Adam to get out of the way here.
Adam's gonna fold. Talfin's gonna snap, and they're
And
back.
Talfrin does have the 2 hearts. Let's see if it comes into play here. Looks like they're chopping it. Choppity chop. And Robert with pair of threes on the gun. Does he open this?
It's possible we might see him fold. He's not the shortest stack. anymore. And under the gun opening into bigger stacks, he might. Threes are pretty bottom. He's definitely contemplating, but I. Oh, he does go for it.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, I guess they're only five-handed. I'm not sure of the separation between him and our seat one.
Ooh, Dylan with ace 10 of diamonds.
Yeah,
Small blind.
I think Dylan takes this spot for sure.
Does he want to tangle?
Yeah. And I don't know. I think I would have liked to have seen a fold with the pocket threes. You are still ahead in chips. You're not last in chips, and this hand just doesn't perform really well.
So an essential flip here.
Yes.
9-9 queen. Looks like Robert holds.
Yeah, it looks like he held. He's sitting back down.
Yeah, the turn is not bad. Flop, not so much.
You know what they say, you gotta win your flips.
Mm-hmm.
Robert wins this flip.
And with that, we now have Dylan and Adam at the bottom of the chip counts.
And now that we're five-handed, each player here has locked up $4,600. And remember, just a reminder, we're playing for 16,000 Canadian dollars up top. And Dillip, our big stack, our chip
Wow.
leader, picking up aces under the gun. But unfortunately,
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone has a hand to contend.
no customers there. And it looks like Dylan.
Dylan moving all in. Mystery card 10.
What do you think it is?
He has how many blinds? He has 7.5 blinds? Or no, just 7 blinds?
7 blinds.
Could be pretty wide. Could be a suited jack.
Jack 10.
Yeah, offsuit ace. Maybe even a suited.
A10.
A little
Okay.
low, I think. Either way, it doesn't look like it'll matter. It looks like he takes it down.
And for those of you who are joining us just now, welcome. This is the main event, final table of our spring series, hosted by VClub. All these guys have been playing for 2 days now. This is a 2-day event, so from over 100 entrants to now down to our final five. Welcome. My name is Jason. I'm here joined with Jeremy. Just two homies watching some good poker. And we're live from Toronto, Canada. If you guys are not from here.
Did you look?
So Talfrin actually held the chip lead for most of the day. Actually, he had a massive chip lead at one point. So over 2.5 times the second stack. But it looks like in the past hour or so, he's chipped out now. He's second in chips, and we have a new chip leader. And Talfrin with open here. Robert folding fours. In the
Yeah,
cutoff.
under the gun open versus covering stack. He's now clearly in third place, so he really doesn't need to take this spot. And it's a good thing he did.
And speak of the devil right here.
Adam waking up behind. He's been quite snug waiting for this spot. So he's found it.
I draw the line in the foot massage, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, that's going too far. I don't show my feet for free. I can keep socks on though.
And Talfrin wisely makes the fold.
Looks like he's still in the
Oh,
tank.
interesting.
Yeah.
Does he want to play here?
He's bled a lot of chips. Maybe he thinks wants to take this spot and gamble, but no, he does fold.
Good thing he does fold.
Yeah, possibly a little amateur to open that from under the gun with chip leader up behind you. And a few short stacks in the blinds. Blind on blind interaction. Dylan jams the 8-9. Very good jam. At this short of a stack depth, a hand like 8-9 has enough equity to go for it. And as you can see, the 10-5, the 10 high folds.
Takes it down.
Just waiting for the graphics to catch up, but it does look like a limp from the small blind and a check behind in the big.
Alfred with ace queen.
Yeah, it looks like he limped. Try and set a trap, balance some of his limping range.
It looks like it's been checked through so far.
I wonder if Talfrin can find a third check on this river. If the graphics are correct, Robert has 6 high, and I wonder if he might take a cheap no equity stab. But it looks like Talfrin just does the betting himself, and just a bit of postulating here before the inevitable fold.
It's a fold.
The ace-queen limp is perfectly fine from a theoretical standpoint, but I might have liked to have seen Talfrin raise, just because he's been pretty active raiser throughout this final table. Also, there wasn't much to suggest that Robert would take a light spot in that configuration when limp 2, especially with him being a clear third place in chips. There's not much incentive for him to bloat up the pot, even if he has really bottom of range.
Dilip, yeah.
Excellent.
Dilip rips his small blind here. Just picking up the blind.
So interesting that Dilip didn't open the queen 5 suited there. Possibly thinks that with Dylan this short, he doesn't want to be forced to raise fold this or even raise call. As Dylan is the shortest stack, he inherently has the least ICM pressure on him. So he'll probably shove somewhat close to chip EV. That being said, I'm fairly certain you still get to raise the queen 5 suited. I think Dylan got a walk with the 7 deuce.
It looks like we have an all-in and a call here. Adam jamming the queen 10 suited for about 9.5 bigs. The button, very standard, and looks like Taufren called with the 5s, and guess the pocket 5s held. The 5s held, yeah.
Yeah,
Intent did not improve.
we are down to 4.
Just like that. There's 4.
I'm still like in the pre-flop. It's that slow. Like, I already clicked.
GG's to Adam.
Now it's ready. Now
A 5th place finisher.
on the one hand, I thought like 50 already hit the straight. I was like, I have to like I have to force start every time because like under the card is much good for the under the gun is much good for the cards even being there. I'm not sure, honestly. Like, their general recommendation later around, like a
Yeah, Talfrin with the open under the gun, king queen offsuit. Off of a few bigs. Oh,
Robert with the suited ace.
yes, ace 8 suited. I think he's going to take this spot. He's been one to find a lot of spots against Talfrin. He also had the luxury of playing in position against him on most of when there were 2 tables left. Oh, is that correct? He folds? I thought he verbalized something to the dealer. I guess he did fold, and
Dylan has.
yes, it's going to be a good fold. We're going to see a call from Alpha. Interesting that Talfrin has started to raise 2.5 as well from under the gun, possibly trying to disincentivize 3 bets from Robert or from our chip leader Dillip.
We have an all-in call here.
Yes.
An ace in the flop.
Yeah, it looks like an ace. And Dylan's remained stoic, so I guess he won.
That's a good read.
Oh, it looks like it was a sweat on the turn as there were 3 diamonds, and Talfrin did have the nut flush draw with a pair redraw.
Here. But Dylan takes his pot down.
Yeah, critical pot for Dylan coming back. Now he's at, I believe, 15.5 big, so out of the deep water for now.
You can't see it from here. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Robert with the queen jack offsuit from under the gun.
Now, is this an open four-handed?
We actually see him. Looks like he went for a non-all
Not all in. Yeah.
large sizing raise. Interesting. With Dylan now having doubled up, the gap between those 2 stacks are much shorter. Yeah, and Dylan with ace queen suited, he's definitely going to take the spot. I don't really like this effective jam from Robert with queen jack off. Yeah, especially in first position with chip leader behind you.
And
Talfrin having folded king jack means that,
that's outs for Robert.
yeah, 2 outs.
But Robert finds an.
Wow.
Wow, he finds a.
Drills
jack
a
in the
2
turn.
outer. Gross.
Oof.
Brutal beat for Dylan.
I know.
Really good spot for him to get up to close to 1.8 million in chips.
It's good to be good, but it's better to be lucky.
Yeah, Dylan had, excuse me, Robert had, I think, close to 16 bigs in that hand, so I definitely don't like seeing
A raise.
yeah, a raise that effectively committed his stack to an all-in.
Because that's exactly what happened, right? He didn't. I'm sure he didn't love seeing the jam,
Yeah,
but he was pot committed. And what can you do?
it's just too much with 16 bigs.
So now Dylan really
Yeah,
a short stack here.
Open to 150.
in general, it's just going to be very hard to balance a effectively jamming range off of 16 bigs. I would have much preferred to have seen Robert either min raise or probably just fold because Talfrin's shown to be pretty tenacious and sticky in the big blind.
He's been playing pots.
Yeah. But he was the shortest stack at that point in time, so maybe he just thought, this is the spot I want to drive my equity as the ICM pressure has been severely reduced. Dylan gonna be under the all in under the gun, even looking down at one king.
That's enough.
Yeah, with blinds having gone up now, he has 3.5 blinds, so he's gonna run it. Big stack Dilla probably can call any two in this spot, and they're just going to run it. Dilla with a 7-4 suited.
Your classic race right here, 7-4 suited against King 10.
Looks like one finally falls Dylan's way. Can't help but sympathize with him. I do play with Dylan quite a bit, and very well studied player, knows his spots, also knows the importance and the value that a short stack has, especially in the modern meta where you can really roach down to 6-5 bigs. But he can't help but think what would have been if that ace-queen suited had fallen his way.
Does he not smile or laugh or something? Why are you so serious, bro? Wish I wasn't serious.
150.
Talfrin here.
Yeah, Talfrin with pocket queens. Opening for sure. More pressure on our short stacks big blind. Oh, interesting. And off.
Suited king.
Off about 6.5, 6.6 big. Suited king. We might see Dylan still elect to just call this. Having a deuce in his hand reduces his equity quite a bit. He's just counting out, seeing if he has to shove or if he just calls. But this is against first position open. He may elect to call and just try to flop some equity.
And still be able to get out of it if...
Yeah, if he totally bricks out, he can still play about 5 bigs. And he calls. Oh, and they're definitely gonna run this. It'll be interesting to see if Dylan open jams having the nut flush draw with a gut shot.
Dylan has every out.
Yeah. The ace high board stands to still interact very strongly with Talfrin's range. I think Talfrin, seeing him this short, will probably just commit him, having queens with no spade. Oh, he actually goes for small bet,
Small
quarter
bet.
bet. And
Dylan jams.
Dylan jams. And did Talfrin fold? We just saw a snap fold from Talfrin? Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Raised
so
fold.
definitely a blunder there to B25 and fold to a check shove. You gotta assume that Dylan is going to be shoving almost any ace that he wakes up to in the big blind. Ace high just has so much equity, even against under the gun range. And Dylan had less than 6 bigs, or about 6.5 bigs. So a bit of potentially hand reading mistake there. The second thing is, if you do choose to open the betting there with queens, I don't really like a small bet. That doesn't really accomplish much. With SPR being less than 1, you probably want to just commit him if you are going to open up the betting. And I think queens with no spade is a clear jam on the flop. Well played by Dylan to get max fold equity and to, I mean, you love it if you're folding out queens there,
Yeah,
even though you have every out in the world.
you got to make your hand still.
Yes,
so.
exactly.
Dylan picking up King 10. of
Well,
diamonds.
Robert with the King 5 suited under the gun open. This is pretty interesting.
Because Dylan has a stack now. Like he.
He's got about 13 bigs. It'll be interesting to see if he finds the
I think he-
reshove. Oh, he did.
He did,
Wow.
yeah.
I've been very impressed by Dylan and how he's played in spite of running below EV. I don't know about the King 5 suited under the gun open. There are some configurations where you're supposed to be opening the King 5 suited. It's probably like the bottom. But when you're sandwiched between first and second in chips, I don't think it's actually advisable. Shout outs to our viewers. It looks like there's 23, 24 of you for sticking with us despite some technical issues. And we'd love to hear what you guys are thinking in the chat. You know, feedback on the stream, the players, who you're rooting for, our commentary. Yeah.
Talfin here. King Jack of Hearts. In the small blind. Calling.
So this hand can go either way. You can either just raise and
Get it in.
and raise and drive your equity. No, not necessarily get it in, but
Guess they're too deep for that.
yes. But this hand also functions well as a check call, mostly because of its suited properties.
And it looks like both of them have got a piece of it.
Yes. When you have the King Jack suited in this configuration, even though you cover third in chips, you don't necessarily want to raise and to, let's say, 3 or 3.5 bigs and be forced to call an 8.5 or 9.5 in position 3-bet. You just start bloating up a pot out of position with a hand that functions really well with larger, or I should say lower SPRs, larger stack to pot ratios.
So now this is interesting. Robert just bet 125 with a quick call from Talfin.
Yep.
But he picks up a heart draw
Yep.
on the turn. Now Robert's still ahead with his ace.
Yeah, Robert probably going to slot this in the double barrel line and maybe check some bad rivers. Ace-9 clearly good enough to still bet for value. The 9 of clubs having a little bit of interactions with some backdoor floats. But I definitely think Robert is going to bet again. The question is a matter of sizing. With 1-to-1 SPR, we might even see him... No, he looks like he goes for about a third or half pot. Setting up stacks for a shove.
What a half pot bet.
Yeah. Talfin in the tank here, but his hand functions better as a call for sure. You don't really get better to fold when you shove in this spot, and you don't get worse to call, and you dominate some flush draws. And the river's a paint card. We're just waiting to see what it is. Queen.
Queen, but not of hearts.
Yeah. And with so little remaining behind now, Robert has pretty good candidate to find a value shove.
He only has 500 behind.
Yeah, you don't lose to much in this spot. You lose to some... You lose to some combos of Queen Jack, and you might lose to a hand like Queen 5 of Hearts, but that's about it. Oh, but he checks. He figures with a shorter stack behind, the pot's big enough, I'll take it. Talfin, a little bit frustrated. A lot of equity there that didn't clear.
He didn't have hearts? He did. He had hearts. But he missed. King Jack of hearts.
Brody Reed 5619 in the chat asks, when your shorter stack in blinds, does BB defend range disappear? Like it's either fold or 3-bet, or can you ever call? No, in fact, a lot of the modern meta is making the most out of even 6 or 5 bigs. There's a lot of hands that you can, facing an isolation raise, that you can VPip and defend out of the big blind, especially with the introduction of big blind ante. You're just getting such a good price because you're putting so much in the pot. And a lot of hand classes can actually afford to defend as long as you're isolated. If you see something like a raise and a call from the blinds or the button, or the small blind or the button, then you might actually see a lot of those similar hand classes overfolding. So as we saw earlier, Dylan correctly assessed the king deuce suited as a defend off of about 6.5 bigs, and he was actually able to wrestle away the pot with only about 4 bigs or 3.5 bigs behind. I'd also like to give an on-air shout out to my boy Machine, watching a VClub stream for the first time. We're still waiting for you to show up, buddy, and play one of these tournaments and show them what the machine is about. So,
Hey.
shout outs to my boy Junior.
This could be you in the final table, Junior. Just gotta show up. And of course, shout out to all you lovely people that are still with us today. I know we've had a bit of technical difficulties, but glad you're still here watching this final table with us. But hold your horses. Speaking of horses, Talfrin with kings.
Mm-hmm. I do like to see that Talfrin is consistent.
Oh, no.
And this is a big time cooler.
Oh man, this is the cooler right here. Aces picked up by Dillop. And can we see Talfrin's run come to an end?
Yeah, Talfrin has bled significantly from his high of over
Almost
3 million.
3 million.
Yeah, almost 3.5 million. And so the table's definitely picked up on a little bit of maybe frustration raising from him, but this is just a stone cold cooler. And at this point, we're just trying to recall to see if any kings have been mucked in the deck, but
there's a 3-bet to 425, and Talfrin's gonna be looking to get it in.
Yeah, you're gonna see a 4-bet here. He possibly is just gonna jam. Under ICM, when you have kings or hand like queens, you don't want to be inducing necessarily, because when the chip leader 3-bets, his hand is going to generally contain an ace. And under ICM, when you're the second stack and have significant risk premium, you don't really want that ace to stick around. You're fine fold when that ace folds, but looks like it's just going in, and
this is the biggest
yeah,
pot.
Talfrin is getting up, so
GG's
wow,
to Talfrin. Wow.
What a spot.
This is the 3 million chip pot. This
Yes,
is the biggest pot of the night.
this is the biggest pot of the night, and now Dillop has
overwhelming.
Yeah, I think over 70% of the chips in play.
That is unfortunate to say the least. Talfrin had such a big chip lead, but as you can see over the course of the last hour, just bled in various spots, getting unlucky in certain situations.
Yeah, nothing he could do there. It was a mandatory jam, and I think he only had about 35 or 40 bigs anyway.
Yeah, you definitely have to get it in there. So GG's to him, our 4th place finisher in our main event, and now we're down to 3. And as you can see, Dylan at one point had crumbs, but through some aggressive play. He's managed to survive and he's laddered up.
Yeah, quite impressed with how Dylan has played today. He's made the most of an unsavory position, being behind the chip leader for most of the day, and also not running particularly well.
Dilip on the button. The pretty hand, Jack 10 of
Yeah,
diamonds.
I think Dilip's going to just go with a general, somewhat small ball and raise strategy. However, this hand is close to slotting into a category where you could open gem. Actually, it depends how much Robert has, and Robert has close to 30 big, so never mind. We definitely want to just be raising this hand to the min. But in a spot where both stacks are constrained and you have the second in chips somewhat close to about 20 to 24 bigs, hands of this nature can start to play as shoves. Jack 10 suited probably still too good to do that. Probably maybe some hand like Queen 10 suited or Queen 9 suited that still retain significant equity, but are a few pips worse because of their gapped nature.
Genuinely couldn't see the greens. I don't know. Like,
No, he's asking you.
no, I understand that, but were you laughing because I asked you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know why you're laughing. Because you couldn't see the blue.
No, I can't tell.
Exactly. Really weird.
Big blind, do it. It was because you were asking everyone.
What's wrong with asking? It's what we're supposed to do is to ask for stats.
What's wrong with finding something funny?
You're laughing at my own expense, but that's okay.
I was laughing at you.
Dylan with 900k chips. Holds his 10-4.
You're just being disingenuous, but that's okay. That's fine, bro.
So Robert's been pretty passive from the small blind, just because Dilip's always had a chip lead over him. And I expected to see this hand class also be folded. Robert wants to maintain his clear separation from Dylan. The clock is on Dylan for him to find a hand and to get a double. Okay, very natural raise from Robert here. Ace 9 suited. Just under 30 bigs, about 20. Yeah, 27, 28. Gets to put pressure on the stack he covers. Oh, Dylan. Dylan contemplating his options. I do like a call here. Seems that Robert has been more careful in picking his spots, specifically against Dylan's big blind. This hand probably good enough and doesn't necessitate a shove. I think Dylan's also quite confident in his post-flop game, and for the most part, is willing to go to the streets.
Ace 3 queen on the flop here. Robert hitting his ace. Nothing really to do for Dylan.
Yeah, not much you can do here. Graphics are wrong. Dylan checked. I believe Robert bet 80,000 and Dylan with a quick fold. This hand might be interesting if the configuration was different and they were significantly deeper, but at this stack depth, you can't do anything. So I do believe Dilip has gone all in, unless I'm mistaken. Yes, he has. I like this jam from Dilip very much. A lot of pressure on second in chips with there being such a clear gap now. Robert has about 30 bigs, and Dylan has under 15 after that defense. So Robert's gonna have to call very, very tight. When you shove King Jack there under ICM, Robert is not going to defend hands that dominate King Jack, such as King Queen. He might even fold Ace Jack, and I think you probably should be folding. Dylan with a King Jack of his own now. I think this has to go in. He's got about 11 and a half bigs. Still enough fold equity where chip leader is not incentivized to call him super light. It's in Dilip's interest to keep beating up on Robert's stack. We might also see Dylan go for a non-all-in raise, somewhere to the tune of 480,000. The reasoning behind that is if there happens to be a super setup behind him where Robert and Dilla both go all in, conceivably he could just fold, retain about 4 bigs, and get a free ladder.
Wow, 450,000. You're right on it.
Yeah.
Way to go, Jeremy.
What would I do? And Dilip's going to jam this hand. And Dylan has no choice but to call, but he's actually not in as bad shape as he thinks. I just wonder if Dilip's already moved in or not.
Looks like he just moved
Yeah,
in.
that's the jam. That's the call. So Dylan raising this hand with a plan. They're going to run it.
Just like that, we have another all-in situation. Sixes against King Jack off. Will we get to our final two?
Looks like paint on that board.
More paint.
Lot of paint. Yep, and Dylan is cutting his cards out. Cutting his chips out for a double. Nice hand by Dylan for sure. I'm sure Dylan was fine seeing the sixes with the King Jack.
2 overcards.
Yeah, good spot.
But great read on that 450,000. No sweat on that either. Flops the Jack right away.
And no backdoor flush draw available. Bit of parity between Dylan and Robert now. Not necessarily a big dent to Dilip's stack, so Dilip will just get to continue leveraging ICM in this configuration. And it's incumbent on Robert and Dylan to find spots to fight back, because now they're pretty neck and neck.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Dylan fighting back. At one point, he was what, at 3.5 big blinds? So to get back here is battle for sure. Robert with ace-8 of diamonds on the button.
Yeah, we're gonna see him in race.
So he's raising to 125. $120.
Oh, Dilip with the same hand. Interesting. I do wonder what Dilip makes of Robert's button opens. The ace-8 offsuit slots pretty well into a category to 3-bet, especially with the lead that he has. I think we're going to see a small 3-bet somewhere to the about 6.5 bigs.
Robert will likely continue here.
It's actually a really tough spot for Robert. He does have the suited variety, yeah, but granted, yes, and Dillup does 3-bet to 6 bigs. I like this find from him. Depends what Robert makes of Dillup's tendencies throughout the night, throughout the afternoon playing with him. At this point, you sort of wish you had a pip worse or a pip better, somewhere like an ace-5 suited, and you can conceivably power jam through. Oh, and he does
There it
power it
is.
through.
See,
Wow,
there it is.
well done, well found by Robert. And unfortunately, if you're Dillup, you just have to fold this combination. A well-played hand by both players. Very theoretical.
Great jam by Robert. And sit down.
Mm-hmm. I think we're seeing a trend consistent with Robert's play is that he's not afraid to jam through hands that he considers having a great chunk of equity. He's really willing to run those hands.
And we have a small hand here developing. Jack 7 for Dylan. The small blind. Clashing with Robert, defending his 7-4 of clubs.
Looks like it was a limped pot pre with a check behind. Both players playing this well. Jack 7 has enough equity to try to realize with a limp. And 7-4 suited also has enough equity being a suited hand in position. You definitely don't want to be raising these suited hands in position when you can just see a flop. I expect Dylan to come with a check raise here, and he did come with a check raise.
Wow.
I love it. Very high frequency check raise when you flop a gutter. It almost becomes like the default check raise now, and you see under theory that you're not check raising the open-endeds or the flush draws, but you are check raising hands like gut shots.
So why is that? Why do we find the check raise for gutters but not open-ended?
I think modern theory definitely evaluates between something. It evaluates between equity and equity realization, a concept in theory known as EQR. Hands like gut shots inherently don't have that much equity in a pot, and they also tend to realize their equity poorly. So when you proceed aggressively in the form of a check raise, you're both driving the little bit of equity that you do have, and you all are also further trying to improve this hand class's equity realization. Hands like open-ended or flush draws, however, both have higher equity in general and also tend to be able to realize that equity better. So you don't want to be bloating a pot with those hand classes. Basically, in layman's terms, if you check raise a gutter and you get jammed on, you're not folding out too much equity, and you're also not failing to proceed with a hand that could have proceeded rather easily. But if you check raise a flush draw or you check raise open-ended and you get jammed on, not only are you sometimes forced to fold a chunk ton of equity, but this hand also could have proceeded in a very clear way for you over turn and river. So that's the gist of it.
Dillup with ace 5 here.
Yeah, and in oh, draws the ace on the
Shows
river.
ace.
Wonder if we'll definitely see a bet from Dillup in position though. Question is whether or not King High might make a hero call.
Even with the ace out there.
Yeah, it really depends on Dillup's river sizing. I believe this pot was. Oh, and Robert bets himself. Interesting. I personally wouldn't have slotted this hand into. Oh, sorry, the graphic is incorrect. The river is a 4. That makes a
River's-
lot more sense.
That makes more, yeah.
Yeah. So now
Robert hits his.
Yes, exactly. Robert hits his kicker, goes for a larger sizing, and now Dillup actually has an interesting one with ace 5 to call. He does have the ace of clubs, but then again, what's probably going through his mind is that Robert has no need to really be betting ace high on this river, and perhaps he's also not sure if Robert is value betting ace high thinly enough. A hand like ace jack off that he limped. So he does look him up with the ace 5. I don't blame him. I probably would have called as well. Just the nature of a pot where it's limped and it goes check, 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 and suddenly the guy leads the river. Especially on a paired board when you have ace high, you stand to be pretty good if villain is bluffing at the correct frequencies. And until you've shown me that you can value bet in that spot with less than a pair and not the pair on the board, I think, generally speaking, I'm going to be looking you up with ace high of my own.
We see here a clash between Dylan and Dillup.
Yeah, shorthand, you're going to see way more blind on blind interactions. Both players with not much interaction with the board and a semblance of showdown value, so you're likely to see,
Checking it down.
yes, yeah, strong check checks. Essentially, both players think their hand is good, so there's not much reason to be putting chips in the pot. Oh, but Dylan does go for a small bet, possibly to deny river leads, and he also identifies that in a double checked line check to him, he probably retains some range advantage in the big blind when he checks back on 8, 4, 7, 10.
I can do payouts. I mean, 15%. I can still follow the formula. Yeah, it's gonna be a sweet draw. But I shouldn't do it on the
King 9 of spades, we're likely to see a min open on the button here. The stacks have equalized to the point now where there probably are no more open shoves from the button. Oh, Robert with
Ooh.
jacks. Now, I'll be interested to see what sizing Robert comes with. I got the chance to watch Robert play a little bit yesterday, and he did take a very small sizing, an induction size, from the blinds versus button. Now, this was in full ring, but would be interested to see what he does here. Jacks naturally probably don't benefit from inducing as much. That hand just needs a little bit more protection and wants to drive its equity a little bit more. I think he comes to the size of about 6.5 or 7 blinds. Yeah, 500,000. So he goes larger actually. He goes 8 and about a half. And Dillip with this quick fold.
Snap fold.
Yeah, I like that fold against the larger sizing. I definitely like a fold.
And their stack sizes aren't even really that far apart anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting battle now. Dylan having came back from the brink there, being down to I think.
It's like 3.5 bigs. at one
Yeah, I
point.
think he had like 5 bigs with a big blind ante posted and his big blind. Oh, Robert is getting off some hands. Now, interesting to see what Robert does now.
Small open.
Yeah, he's refrained from limping the small blind for a majority of the afternoon just because of the ICM configuration. He comes with call as well, balancing his earlier limps. Dillip again with bottom of range, but a suited hand, so when you get down to these types of specifics, the difference between raising a combo like this or checking back can come down to just the suitability. Having a3 suited here slots it naturally into a check back.
King 4 deuce of hearts. Monotone board.
Yeah. Lead one big blind. Pretty standard stuff. Let's see if Dillip wants to stick around and maybe bluff some turns and rivers.
Is that a raise?
Dillip with the click and a bit in position. I don't think this is going to shed the tens. So probably setting up for a future bluff. I also wonder if our graphics are correct. There is some idea behind suited hands and their interaction with other suited hands. When you have a suited hand, you block certain suited combos as well, but not sure I would have taken this combo myself.
Now with a 4th heart on the board now.
Yeah, and if Dillip did have a high heart that he checked back, such as the Queen of Hearts, Ace of Hearts, I'm not sure he would proceed in the form of a positional raise. So when he raises the flop and the turn comes another heart, his range is actually compelled more to check because his representations on the flop were hands such as 2 pair, a weak flush, and now the 7 of hearts changes the board quite dynamically. The river 4 also improves Robert hand, so now he can beat some aforementioned 2 pairs. But not many, actually, because the raise did come on the flop. Oh, I'm sorry, the river is an offsuit 6. Dillip sort of in no man's land. I think we're going to see him put out some type of bet here, maybe even an overbet, just trying to get folds from the non-heart portions of Robert's range. Let's see.
Looks like he put in a bet.
In hindsight, I think I would have liked to have seen Robert slot this hand into the small raise category from small blind. No, he goes for about 66% pawn. Yeah, so I would have liked to have seen Robert raise this hand up. In general, he had been hesitant to play many small blinds, so I'm not sure he needed to balance this spot with a limp, and there wasn't also enough evidence to suggest that Dillip would go crazily after his small blind when limp to. And he folds.
He gets a chance to
Wow,
fold.
Dillip, nice hand.
Great play. Just recognizing.
Yeah. Did he flash it or no? I don't know.
So close. Like 10 hearts.
Sort of a crazy hand, but well executed on the river.
Back over
Yeah.
3 million chips. And
There's the theoretical aspect of things that we can always discuss on the stream and amongst ourselves, but there's also the execution standpoint, and I've been very impressed with Dillip's execution so far today. Looks like we're going on break.
we're on break right now, so
So we'll see you guys in about 10 to 15 minutes.
about 10 minutes.
What, 10 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, guys.
All right.
Sometimes it picks up the wrong call.
This is taking forever. I just clicked to clear table to play 20 seconds.
I think the thing that I'm doing is like just force every single time. And it
And welcome back to our live stream of our Spring Series main event, Final Table. We are now down to 3 players. Oh.
Sorry about that, guys. Just a quick camera blip, but we're back.
Shout out to our final 3 competitors here. We got Dylan.
Very
we got,
close grouping now.
Yeah, they're the chips. The chip stacks are very close, actually.
Yeah, every stack between 2 and about 2.8 million. Oh, Dylan with ace queen on the button. Powerhouse. And just shy of 30 bigs. Oh, Dylan with pocket 8s in the big blind. Looks like this is the collision we're going to see.
They have virtually equal stack sizes.
Yeah, I would be interested to see how Dilla proceeds in this. I think he's going to jam. 30 bigs is a lot, and 8 slots to be like right in the middle. I think 8 is probably like high frequency call, but I do play with Dillip a lot. I've known him for over 7 years. I think he's going to jam this hand.
And if you're Dylan here, if Dillip jams.
Well, I don't think you're folding this in 3-handed. Look, he snaps, yeah, and it's just going. They're just going to run it.
Just gonna go run it.
This is the new biggest pot.
Oh, this is.
Yeah.
I mean, they essentially.
Graphics team, get on that. We want to see the flop turn and river.
Ace queen off, Dylan.
Yeah.
Versus Dillip's pocket 8s.
Yeah, Dillip a slight favorite. Huge pot. Whoever wins this will be in commanding lead to win the tournament. 973 bricks.
5.
Looks.
4.
Oh.
Looks like Dillip fades.
Yeah. Looks like Dillip win. Doubles.
Dillip
wow.
doubles.
They're going to do the math, but I do think Dillip covers.
That's poker for you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you
Yeah,
gotta win your flips.
that's right. Dylan left. I think he was covered. Yep, he was
Okay.
covered. Confirmed.
Well,
Good games.
good game.
Very well played by Dylan. Very impressed by how he played, despite the low average luck.
Yes, he fought his way back from the brink, and he is our third place finisher. Take home today $7,100. So congratulations, Dylan. And that puts us into heads up.
Mm-hmm.
You see here the three play styles, completely different. Got Dylan, loose aggressive, against Dillip and Robert, forming an equilateral triangle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Sorry
Yeah,
for
welcome
the delay. Welcome back to the heads up portion of our main series main event, Final Table, brought to you by VClub.
Yep. We were just in the process of setting up the stage for you. As you can see, the VClub decals in the back and the heads up setting.
So thank you for anyone who's still here watching. And shout outs to Robert and Dillip, our final two competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And right away, we have, remember, Dillip is our chip leader by quite a bit, actually, holding 4.6 million chips to Robert's 1.8.
Yeah, Dillip's got close to 60 bigs, and Robert's working with about 25 or so, 24.
70% of the chips
Yeah.
in play.
So Dilip started with a raise on the button, 2x. Very standard stuff. You get to mix your strategy up a lot on the button. And just a check down pot, king high wins.
Just like that,
Yeah.
we are officially underway.
So heads up strategy is going to revolve a lot around how one player implements their limping strategy and to what degree they're able to implement effective limps and also effective limp re-raises. And the other player is forced to play against that.
Would you say the chip leader has more of a say in determining their...
Yeah. So at heads up, a lot of decision points are not exactly a clear raise or a clear limp. You could probably achieve similar EV with either option and just randomize. At this stack depth, I think you're going to see Dilip open a lot more buttons, and I think you're going to see Robert try to limp a lot more buttons and take advantage of the button post flop. Play in position.
And remember, we are playing... So both players have $10,000 locked up, and we are playing for $16,000 up top.
Yeah. So it really starts to get interesting when one player starts limping very strong hands because you're incentivized to start attacking the limp at some degree at this stack depth. So you'll probably see Robert try to implement that through the form of a limp back raise. Dilip raising to 2x again with queen something.
Queen X.
Yeah, Robert has a hand that could go either way and heads up, but I do like the call. Suited king.
Four Jack 7.
Yeah.
2 spades. Nothing to do for either player, we suppose.
Yeah, without a club on the board, I would be less likely to attack this c-bet. If it were like, say, 4 Jack 7 rainbow with one club, I probably would be taking this hand as a check raise. Interaction with the backdoor flush and straight draw. Driving equity with king high, getting some better king highs to fold, like king 9 or king 10.
It looks like there's...
But it does look like he still takes it.
He
I do
still
like
raises.
that. Yes. Now, Dilip with the queen something. It really depends what he has. If he has the bottom of range, like a queen deuce O or like a queen 3-0, we'll see him just release. Yeah, possibly he had those. If he had like a queen Broadway or a queen 9 wrapped around the jack, we would possibly see him continue.
Robert just taking that down.
Yeah.
You can see here, Dilip well in the chip lead.
After that big pot
After-
against Dylan.
Yes, after that flip.
Yeah.
Just like that. And Robert, of course, no slouch himself either.
Yeah, he's been steadily in there, you know, growing slowly, like that plant of
Like
his
that
on the
plan,
rail.
yeah.
And by the way, chat, let us know what you think of this new heads-up setup that we're trying out.
Yes.
Yeah, we
absolutely.
got the VClub promotion on full display. Oh, Jack 10 suited. Good one to raise. For sure. This hand plays fine against a small 3-bet, and it also plays fine against a call. It looks like he has raised. Yeah, after having raised pre with no real equity on this board, I do like a small c-bet from Robert.
It's like he's put in 100,000.
Yeah, I like that. Quarter pot. Less than quarter pot. Dilip with the 9 of clubs. Not sure what his kicker was, but not interacting strongly enough with the 8 and 5 of clubs to continue. function of Robert's stack depth too. He is shallower than Dillip by quite a margin.
Robert stringing together a couple of pots here to start our heads up. The final table of the main event.
Yeah, so in heads up, you're incentivized to VPIP nearly 100% of hands. So a hand as junky as this would still slot into that category.
Would this just be a small open here?
Oh, he does just fold.
Doesn't want to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Doesn't want to mix it up.
Yeah, I believe at some stack depths, there are some splits where the 8 deuce, 7 deuce, and the 9 deuce aren't being played. But I think with the chip lead there, I probably would have just still
Seen a flop.
opened, yeah, exactly, and just played the power of position.
Mm-hmm. Can't be folding too much in the heads up.
Yeah, it just pretty much got to play every hand.
Robert letting that go.
What did he fold?
4. Deal up with mystery.
Oh, Dillip raised, he folded the king four.
He just folded off. Yes, off rip.
Oh, he was first to act and he folded? Oh. Definitely
think-
wouldn't be folding any king highs unopened.
Do you think Dillip is, if he adjusts his strategy here, would he be, as a big stack and heads up, would he get more aggressive, or would he be more passive with such a big chip lead?
It really depends because heads up is mostly like a responsive game. So you're
Explain that.
yeah. So if he notices that, for example, he's limping a lot of buttons and he's not getting opened or re-raised from the big blind, that might incentivize him to start raising the button on his own. And if he also notices that he's raising the button almost at 100% frequency and he never gets 3-bet, then, oh, okay, speaking of,
We got a hand here.
yeah, interesting.
Looks like a 3-bet from Robert.
Yeah. So the ace deuce, I probably would have slotted this one into the limp re-raise category. Wow. And
That's-
Dillip just folds.
that's a fast-
I think it's a function of what Dillip's been seeing out of Robert for most of today. He probably was fine slotting that into the raise fold category instead of something like a limp call or a limp 3-bet. Yeah. So it's very important to be able to implement your limping strategy, whether that's with strong hands or very weak hands, because a lot of the times you're just going to get hands that don't necessarily want to play a raised pot. Yeah.
And it sounds like making adjustments.
Yeah, stack depth is very important too. As you see the stacks get shallower and the blinds go up, we're going to start to see a shift in that strategy where we start seeing some open shoves as well.
All right, and Robert here with ace deuce.
Yeah, so Robert
An ace.
looks like he limped the ace deuce, so we can begin to see the difference in strategy as I articulated here. Where Dillip was, oh no, he did raise. Okay, so he did raise. Oh, the king 6 suited.
That's enough to play.
Yeah, similar hands as was played before. He does call the king 6.
Let's see a flop. Flop ace king king. Oh,
Oh, wow.
no. Dillip flopping 3 kings. But
Dillip's hot
Robert,
run continues, and in heads up, this is
this
a
good
big
enough-
time cooler.
is this good enough to go with ace
Well, it
deuce?
looks like they're on the turn, and it looks like, wow, it looks like Robert is doing an amazing job of checking back.
Just
He's checked
pot
back
controlling?
twice, yeah. Very surprising. Guess his hand slots into the category where he considers it way ahead or way behind, and he figures if there's a triple check, he can get value on the river. Now, against large lead, he might just call this. Snap calls. Yeah. Wow. Well done by Robert to not lose.
I feel like he lost the minimum
Yes,
there.
yes. I'm actually very impressed by Robert's play in that spot. It's possible he has studied some heads-up sims before.
that was shaping up to be
Yeah.
a big pot here with 3 kings.
When it goes check on the flop, I would have liked to have seen a large lead from Dilip on the turn. It's possible that, given what we've seen from Robert today, that a check back doesn't indicate absolute weakness. It probably indicates some semblance of showdown value. I would have liked to start attacking that showdown value off the bat. But anyways, nice hand.
Nice
Interesting
hand.
hand.
Dodging coolers, that's a
Yes,
part of it.
Yes. Lose one post flop street with top pair ace. There is.
That is pretty phenomenal,
well
actually.
done.
Dilip with queen 9 suited.
Yep. Queen 9 suited, one of those hands that can go either way as well. Slots into some percentage of raise, some percentage of call. Reason being that the hand just plays really well, whichever way you choose to play it. It looks like Dilip did limp. I like this call from him. Dilip's probably studied some heads-up sims before as well. Oh no, it went raise call. Okay.
Raise call with
Yeah.
king deuce suited.
Yeah.
Both playing.
We haven't seen any heads-up 3-bets yet, so it would be interesting to see when those start getting implemented.
7-10-4 rainbow.
Yeah. I think we're not going to see a continue from the king deuce here. Dilip's got a lot of backdoor equity with this hand, and he also has the position, so most likely we're going to see a bet and a fold.
Oh, yeah, it's a little too thin.
Yeah, exactly. Having a deuce here is pretty bad.
So with that hand, Dilip crosses the 5 million
Yes.
chip mark.
Looking at 65 bigs, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 million, yeah.
I'd like to see a limp from Robert with this hand. Very classic, like, low equity, low showdown type of limping hand.
Just trying to see a flop.
Yeah,
here.
exactly. And as you can see, like, a hand is from Dilip, like Queen 7, is content just checking back. So you do get to realize this equity and play the button. Really no reason to raise this hand class.
7 jack 5.
Oh, a bit of a cooler, as in a limp pot, any pair stands to be pretty good, at
Quite
least over
good.
one street, yeah.
So Dilip with middle pair here.
Yeah. Robert with the small bet. We're likely to see a call, and without further improvement, I expect to see turn check.
3 of diamonds on the turn.
Yeah, interesting. Given what we've seen out of Robert today, I think he might be content to check back and realize some equity. Oh no, he goes for the double barrel. Interesting. Probably rates bottom pair with gut shot as one of the better 2-barrel candidates. Actually, in hindsight, I very much like this bet.
And
He can still represent top portions of range like a jack. He has removal to the straight with 4-6.
It looks like he bet big.
Yeah. And this just starts putting a 7 in an uncomfortable position. I think with a 7, you still need to call one more street, especially with the development of a backdoor flush draw, and you block none of those flush draws. But Dilip lets it go. That's all right.
Great bet.
Yeah,
Great
nice
bet.
double barrel by Robert, slotting this hand class into a double barrel.
He gets it done.
Yeah. I think he would have checked back, perhaps bottom pair with open-ended, but bottom pair with a gut shot.
Ah,
Going on about earlier about
Yes.
the equity differences between a gutter and
an open-ended
an
straight
open-ended straight draw. I think he was content just driving that. And as we can see, we got a fold from a superior hand.
And looks like we have
Yeah, just a moment for our graphics to update. We're not exactly sure who has the ace-9 suited in this spot. Looks like Dilip did limp, and Dilip
Dilip
limped
with-
with nines,
Ooh,
and
interesting.
Robert raising up the ace nine suited.
This could be a big one, actually.
Yes.
And it looks like Robert with again with the 3-bet here, 550,
Oh, very interesting. So,
and Dilip jams.
yeah, so Robert actually chose a size close
And-
to 6.5 bigs. This is actually a solver approved thing in heads up sims with
And
some of your strongest ace X are raising to the larger size and trying to induce a shove. Now, looks like he's called it off, so
looks like we have ace 9,
yeah.
nines. Robert's at risk here for the title.
If Dilip holds, he'll be the winner. Ignore the graphics, we're just catching up. And it looks like it's over.
GG's.
Wow.
Wow.
Amazing. Well played to all.
Yes, well played to Robert, to Dilip. Congratulations to Dilip for winning our Spring Series main event. Our champion. Wow, that was a quick.
Yeah,
heads
that
up.
was a quick but interesting heads up. I think both players definitely knew some things about how to play heads up, and at the end of the day,
And they just went
sometimes
for
it
it.
just comes down to a hand like that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What a way to go. And Dilip, of course, playing so solidly all day. And now emerges as our champion. Look
Yeah.
at that little peace sign.
Let's go, man. Thank God that you won.
Oh, they're
Thank
quick.
God. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Congrats to them.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks. All right, so we're gonna do an interview.
Just like that.
It's gonna be me and him standing right there. And
We are done. Congratulations to all the players that made the final table today.
congratulations, Dylan. Thank you.
When it comes to the stream, we just stop it?
And I mean, now that I have some time here, I would like to give a shout out to Victor, of course, head of VClub, for putting on such an amazing series. As you can see here, Raul, our dealer, is just stacking chips, making it nice and pretty for our winner's photo. But what I was saying was, Victor has worked tirelessly to put together this entire series for us, and we've worked overtime to try to put up a stream as well. So thank you everybody for being a part of this, joining us here today, joining us here at any of our events. And we are looking to live stream more regularly as we move forward. So stay tuned. Yeah. This is not the last time you've heard from us. And our mission here is to build the first and the best poker live stream in all of Canada. And of course, VClub, we're based here in Toronto, Canada. So thank you for being with us on this auspicious Sunday night now. But it's kind of rare for us to play this early. I remember the Mega Stack, we were playing till 5 in the morning. That's more poker degen hours for y'all, but thank you for being here with us. And you can see here, Dilip with Victor. Wow, they even have him on the graphic, and that's the shirt he's wearing. So our graphics team going crazy right now. But yes, thank you for joining us. And as our main event champion, Dilip takes home $16,000 and also player points for our spring series. Which arguably, I mean, the money is good, but you can also win quite a number of things with the player points as well. Oh, that's cute. Getting a little photo. So, all right. I think that about does it. Well, hold on. We're gonna. Hold on, we have the mic there.
Good to see you guys.
No, this is for the live stream. This is going to be the mic for our.
Ah, I see they're doing an interview. So why don't we stay on the stream actually?
The only thing I want to say is don't ask me tough questions.
Okay,
Don't ask
it.
him.
Keep it easy.
You must be super tired.
You heard it here first, folks. Don't ask him tough questions.
Yeah.
Yes. I can put it here, no?
Yeah, that works as well.
Am I supposed to look here?
Here.
And just catching up with some of the comments. You see a lot of Dylan supporters here. Shout out to Realtor Wen. Thank you for being a part of the stream. First time watching a stream. We appreciate you being here.
We're here with our newest VClub main event champion, Dylan. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What a run.
Thank you.
So how has this experience been for you? I know you're a relatively newcomer here to VClub. You've come out to a couple of our tournaments or grand opening. What brought you out to this main event, and what's the experience been like playing this?
Yeah, it's my third time being here. I was here for a grand opening. Love the space. You were very busy that day, so I didn't really get to meet you that day. But we met in Montreal last, and we spoke. I should have. A lot of my friends play here. Some of them work here. Some of them commentate. So you guys, it's familiar faces all around. Should have come in for this series earlier as well for the other events, but I couldn't. I was actually away as well, and I only got back in the city this week. This event in particular, this tournament was great. Love that you guys had a guarantee. I don't see very many places in Toronto offering and putting up guarantees like this and doing and going above and beyond, doing so much for the poker community. So thanks to you for hosting. In terms of tournament, I ran well. At max late reg, I had just under starting at 44.5k. Starting was 50. Just held, built up a stack, and bagged, and here we are today.
Amazing. And how did today go for you? I think you came in, was it back?
Yeah, I backed 600k, 630. So about in the middle of the pack. It went well. Table was good. I kind of got lucky. The chip leader from my table got moved to the other table, so it helped for my stack especially. I tried my best. I played, as well as I can. Really ambitious about poker, but I don't think I'm there yet. But just, it's a journey, and it's a long journey. So yeah, just working my way up.
Was your tournament life at risk at any point? I know you knocked out a couple of players. Yeah, any super stressful moments?
Yeah, there was one especially on final table where I did go all in with pocket eights. I believe that was probably the most stressful situation I put myself in this whole tournament. But luckily I won the flip.
Amazing. And for the folks watching at home, do you want to share a bit more about your poker background, your career background, how you got into poker?
Sure. I moved to Toronto in 2007 for school. Have an IT background. Did software development for the most part. Started playing poker in 2009, roughly just playing weekends, evenings. I was terrible. Just was playing 1-2 cash, 3 cash games. I worked until 2017 full time, just doing software development. My last gig was actually at RBC, and I quit that to pursue poker. So as crazy as that sounds, my parents thought I was nuts. My manager thought I was nuts. But it made me happy. So I just chose this path, and luckily I have very supportive family, and I do stuff on the side as much as I can to sort of generate passive income and keep me in the game, and it helps. And that was very recent that I actually managed to accomplish that in my life. So yeah, have hopes and dreams with poker, and hopefully the journey's not over yet.
Amazing. Well, to Dill's parents and old manager watching at home, I hope you're proud.
Thank you.
Of Dill here for such a fantastic accomplishment. Last couple of questions, but what does this win mean to you as part of your goal?
I would say it gives me the confidence for the most part. Obviously, 16,000 helps as well. Yeah, and poker's gonna keep going. You'll probably see me here at your other main events, and we'll see how it goes.
Amazing. Congratulations to Mandela. Of course. Massive win. We're happy to have you here, and your photo is going to be framed on our Wall of Fame.
Awesome.
All of our main event champions go down in VClub history. So
Sweet.
Congratulations, sir.
Amazing. Thank you for
right.
hosting. Thank you for your hospitality. It was great.
We're going to take a bunch of players.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. How cute is that?
Just him. And then we can get, if you want, like a bunch of people in the background as well.
I sit here.
Yes. Yes.
You just stand in that chair.
Yeah, we'll move one of the chairs, so we'll take that one out.
How wholesome was that? And I love that. I love those answers from him, from talking about how he comes from very humble beginnings, and he's put in the work through all these years. So this is not not some kind of fluke. And you can see here Dilip as he is posing for his winner's photo. That must be a great feeling to come all the way back and win the main event. Congratulations to him. Congratulations. I know my co-commentator Jeremy actually already went downstairs to be a part of the celebration. So a slowly increasing stack. So he was grinding all day. And actually, during the break, I asked him about his plant. And the plant that he kept, right by him at the table. And he said that it started off as a bit of a joke. In a poker room, sometimes the oxygen air quality is not so good. So as an inside joke, he brought a plant to the table as his lucky charm, and as luck would have it, start running well, playing well. So now he feels obligated to keep this plant with him as he plays more tournaments. So I thought that was a really cool and funny story of how an inside joke just became his lucky plant. And he said, if he continues to run deep in tournaments, he's got to bring it every day. If he's on those long 12, 14-hour days, he might start going a little cuckoo, and maybe he's going to have to talk to his plant for a little some moral support. So I thought that was really cool, but congratulations to him too. Robert takes home, it's not a paltry amount, $10,000 for his second place finish in our main event. But this moment is about Dilip, our main event champion. Well played, well deserved. All right, so we're just taking the winner's photo here, and I think this is as good of a time as any for me to sign off. So thank you for being here with us. My name is Jason Chan. I am the head of VClub live streaming, and I will do my best to bring to you more fantastic live streams like today. We are looking to build the first and the best live poker live stream in all of Canada. Now, they have a couple down there, great ones down there in the States, but we want to represent Canada. We want to represent our home city of Toronto. So, yeah, thank you for tuning in. Jason signing out, and yeah, see you guys next time.